What's going on, everybody? I'm back with the IW Sideline Scoop. Recording this just after the Packers finished their Sunday night date with the Dallas Cowboys, finishing with a tie. Yeah, pretty lame tie game, kind of anticlimactic, 40-40. Yeah, high scoring game. It was a pretty good game all around. We saw lots of points, lots of touchdowns, lots of scoring. Not a lot of defensive plays, really. Um, yeah, kind of disappointing. I mean, from the Packers defense, truly. I mean, goddamn, we really thought that Micah Parsons would come back in this game, just kind of wreck shop back in Jerry World, but that of course not happen. He finished the game with a sack in overtime. They gave it to him as a sack. That's about all the only sack we had. Rashawn Gary, nothing. Lucas Van Ness, nothing. The defense is a little disappointing. Cowboys had no CeeDee Lamb, and it was just George Pickens that was tearing us apart. Um, yeah. Game ends. Packers send it to overtime. McManus with some clutch kicks to send it to overtime, and then with 1 second left to basically end the game in a tie. Yeah, so Jordan Love finished with 337 yards on 31 completions. He had 3 touchdowns. Dak Prescott also had 31 completions for 319 yards and 3 touchdowns, so they're pretty even there. And also, our running backs are pretty even with Jacobs 86 yards and Williams at 85 yards. So, yeah, they're kind of just back and forth there most of the night. Points were not too scarce for sure. Packers started the game off. Should have been 14 nothing, I believe, but ended up being 12-2 because we once again get a blocked. I guess this wasn't an extra. This wasn't a field goal. It was an extra point that gets blocked after our second touchdown of the game. Packers are rolling right away. That kind of changed everything. Cowboys blocked the extra point, take it back for 2 points, and that was proved to be huge because we wouldn't have needed overtime most likely. I mean, that 2 points. It's crazy how all the points end up adding up towards the end of the game. Um, very proud of Jordan Love and most of the offense for responding well, and they really put up a lot of points. The defense was definitely letting them down, so just to be able to kind of put the ball in Jordan Love's hands, the majority of the game was fantastic. He was constantly ripping the ball downfield. Romeo Doubs had 3 touchdowns, a career high for him. Who else had another touchdown? Man, I'll have to find that one out. But it looked pretty good on offense. I think Josh Jacobs had he had a receiving touchdown, I do believe. So Jordan Love was making it happen. One of Love's better games. Oh no, actually Romeo Doubs had all 3 of the touchdowns. That is it. Love had 3 passing touchdowns. Man, yeah. So overall, a good game. I mean, we expected a lot from the defense. They kind of let us down there a lot. I mean, that was really disappointing. The Packers scored with, I believe, 30 seconds to go in regulation. And no, maybe it was about a minute or so. And then the Cowboys, I think about a minute. No, about 30 seconds. My times are a little off. I'm coming right off this game here. But, it was very, very little time. Packers scored. And then Cowboys go right down the field about 3-4 plays and then score it once more before McManus hit the field goal to send it to overtime. So just for the defense to give up some of these drives and plays constantly was very upsetting, especially with no CeeDee Lamb on Dallas. Obviously, Dallas lost last week to Chicago. I think we thought they were better than that. They haven't looked like a juggernaut they have before. Of course, CeeDee Lamb got hurt. Makes a big difference, but kind of just disappointed in our defensive line. Not a lot of pressures that game. That's pretty shitty. We kind of figured to take advantage of Dallas in that way. On the other side, our offensive line last week was so bad, complete dog shit. Basically the reason why we lost the game. Couldn't get anything going. That's kind of how it started in this game. I mean, they had their moments, but I would say towards the end of the game, I love that we were able to run the ball, even with Emmanuel Wilson, backup running back to Josh Jacobs. I love that we were opening holes for Emmanuel Wilson there. That's something you want to do if you can run the ball, especially in overtime when you're running the ball. That's something you sometimes don't see. Teams are just trying to pass it and win the game. So it's cool to see the offensive line opening holes later, giving Love protection. I believe he was sacked, but definitely not as bad as last week where he was under constant pressure. So, yeah, a little bit better of a job from the offensive line, but still a lot of work to do. So, yeah, kind of disappointing, like I said, to end in a 40-40 tie. Pretty weird. Weird ass game overall. Like I said, they had that kick blocked. Couple crazy overtime plays there in the end. Dak Prescott launched the ball to Turpin, I believe it was. I don't know. He ended up getting it was like a floating pass of like 34 yards, almost scored right there. Micah Parsons up getting the sack to hold him to a field goal there. So, yeah, I guess a loss would be worse than a tie. Technically, this feels worse than a tie, or it feels worse than a loss. A tie does, but I don't know. I guess it's better than a loss technically in the end. So it is what it is. I'm proud of Jordan Love. I think he balled tonight. I guess I didn't speak about that one last play. I wanted to bring that up. Jordan Love balled until that basically the last play that we had. I don't know what that was. We got all the way down there in overtime. We're down by 3. We get to the Cowboys red zone. It's third down. And it was coming, I believe, second down. We had a short completion. Packers are rushing to the line. We have no timeouts. Jordan Love, I think, should have spiked it, killed the time. We could have ran 2 plays, or that was third, so definitely not. But you have more time to set up a third down play. And instead, Love is trying to bark out plays to everybody. Receivers look like they're not even trying. Dobbs was walking back to the line of scrimmage very casually. Everybody was very casual. And with about 5 seconds to go, we get the ball off, and with a second left, luckily, by like the skin of your nuts, the ball's incomplete. We get a second left, and it ends in a tie. But yeah, that was just really bad. That was horrible, honestly. Really, really, really bad. I don't know. Broadcast was saying Matt LaFleur needs to do a better job there, but I think that's on Love. I don't know if Matt LaFleur was telling him to call a play, then I guess, but I think that the quarterback just needs to spike it there. And it's better to have a face-to-face conversation, get the play in, instead of quarterback covering their ears, being screamed at, and trying to get the play to everybody over here, over there. It was disastrous. And then, as Collinsworth and Tirico pointed out, that could have been a penalty because the receivers were not set. You got to be set, so that could have been a 10-second runoff. Would have lost us the game. So we got lucky in the end there. That was a stupid play that would have really, really sucked because I like the way Love played tonight. I think the receivers need to help him out a little bit more. But overall, obviously things to work on. I hated that last play more than almost anything in the game. Still a lot of penalties as well. So we're not a perfect team. The defense has a lot to work on. Yeah, we expected a lot more from this defense. I think they're still a damn good defense. I don't know what was going on tonight, but not much resistance at all tonight. Kind of ridiculous. But hey, we got a bye week now already. Week 4 bye. So I will not be. I'm gonna try to make a video. I know I failed on my prediction video today. Had a lot going on this weekend, helping family and Oktoberfest going on. So probably gonna just keep going on the predictions. Obviously, I haven't covered every single game, but get what I can. Maybe I'll go over my predictions tomorrow, Monday night preview or something. But that's gonna just about do it for me today. Packers, Cowboys, Sunday Night Football, 40-40 tie. Take with that as you will, but it's not a loss, I guess. We got a bye week. Might get Christian Watson back coming up after the bye. We'll see. So we got some injured people, especially on the offensive line. I know the bye is really early. I usually hate early buys, but we got a lot of people hurt, so it helps. It is what it is. Yeah, Packer fan all day long. Glad we didn't lose this game, I guess, but ties are weird. Yeah, so we're going to roll into the bye with that. Y'all have a fantastic week, and I'll catch you soon. Go Pack Go.